Howdy everybody. Here we are at Psalm 57, 57 days in. That means we're 57 increments closer to becoming the wise people that God intends to live in the earth. Psalm 57 is our third Michtam, becomes our third golden secret. It's the third golden secret of the Psalms. Because, as you remember, Michtam means engraved in gold in the secret place. Here is a psalm for the new creation, the newly created man, the newly created woman, your spirit man. The background to this psalm is Saul's relentless pursuit of David. That old king wanted David dead before God could place him on the throne. And one day, God delivers Saul into David's hands. How about that? God delivers Saul into David's hands. David's men were urging him to put Saul to the sword, but David said, "Do not destroy the Lord's anointed." The flesh is going to want to destroy anointing. You need to see something here, that it was actually David being tested, testing his heart. Does he understand how to live by the Spirit and not fulfill the lusts of the flesh? David was being tested here. Saul was also being tested and failing, and David's men were being tested. We're all being tested for a purpose, and that is to bring alive the spirit man within us, to live by the Spirit and not according to the things of the flesh. David said, "Do not destroy the Lord's anointed." He passed the test. Now, your natural man is going to want to destroy anointing. How about that? Your natural man is going to want to destroy anointing. The anointing is the thing that gets things done. But your natural man works insidiously against you. It emasculates you, it strangulates you, it asphyxiates your anointing, your power to live in the anointing. But your spirit man recognizes anointing. Your flesh is self-protective. It's defensive, it gets jealous, it's precious, it's aggressive. Your flesh thinks the best form of defense is attack. It will try to make you look good, and it'll try to make others look bad. It wants people to like you. It wants you to look strong and be strong, and it doesn't care who it hurts in the process. But your spirit man only wants to give. It wants to promote others. Even if it is at my own expense, my spirit will want to see others lifted up and exonerated and built up and strengthened. My spirit feels fulfilled whenever it corresponds with the nature of God. Now, I'd better read something from this psalm to you, so we'll have a look at verses 2 and 3. I cry out to God Most High, to God who fulfills his purpose for me. You see, God is going to fulfill my purpose in life. He sends orders from heaven and saves me, and he humiliates those who kick me around. God delivers. Selah. Just meditate on that. Think about that. He delivers generous love, and he makes good on his word. When you're given the opportunity to make someone look bad, you're in a dangerous situation. You need to beware. If you take up the sword to destroy your enemy, you could well end up destroying your own soul and losing anointing in the process. For he who lives by the sword shall die by the sword. It looks like your enemy has been served up to you on a platter. You have the perfect response. You know exactly what to say to expose them, to embarrass them, to cut them to shreds with your tongue. It may be the thing that you feel like doing, but do it at your own peril. Rather, love on your enemies and do good to them and leave them in God's hands. And you'll end up living by the Spirit and not fulfilling the lusts of the flesh. Verse 6, they have dug a pit in my path. This is what your enemies are trying to do, to dig a pit for you to fall in. They have dug a pit in my path, but they have fallen into it themselves. And then we get another Selah. Think about that. This is telling us that when we seek to hurt others, you're in fact hurting your own soul. You hurt yourself. It's informing us that those who seek to afflict you will be brought down by their own hand. You don't need to try to bring them down. They're going to bring themselves down. Give them enough rope and they'll hang themselves. Jesus forgave the unforgivable. You can only do that when you're living by the Spirit. The flesh finds it impossible to give, or if it does forgive, it does so with ulterior motives. Oh, think about that. But your spirit man does everything in the attitude of freedom. Do things out of your spirit. This is a golden secret. Do things out of your spirit and you'll be free. Do things out of your flesh. Your flesh might feel satisfied. They deserved what they got. But you don't end up free. You end up restricted, tied up in knots, tying yourself up in knots and falling in to your own pit. So live by the Spirit. That's the secret for today. That's the wisdom for today. Live out of your spirit man and do not fulfill the lust of the flesh. Recognize anointing. Always pursue anointing. And do not pursue the lust of the flesh. Yeah. God bless you. We'll see you again tomorrow.